Streaming now at 7, a Chicago police officer has been shot and killed while responding to a call in Gage Park. The suspect is in the hospital. We'll have a live update.
Police Superintendent David Brown announced he's stepping down. What's next for Chicago's top cop?
Plus, it's calm outside right now, but rain and snow, possibly heavy snow, headed our way. But not until tomorrow. We'll talk all about it. It's Thursday, March 2nd.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Good morning. I'm Val Warner.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Terrell Brown. Let's go outside, see how we're doing right now. Tracy's off today. 37 degrees. So cooler out there today than it was yesterday, and not a bad day coming up today, but we're all talking about tomorrow, Haisal.
Yes, rain and snow headed our way, a winter storm with a rain and snow mix. For today, temperatures reaching into the low 40s. Take a look here. Right now in Chicago, we're at 37 degrees, so not moving much from where we are right now. We do have a breeze around, and that's making it feel like 29 degrees as you step out the door. Up next, we turn our attention to this system that is currently over Arizona, needs to race across the country and then towards us by tomorrow. And that's the system that will be impacting us tomorrow throughout the morning and afternoon. A winter storm watch in effect for tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon as well, and into the night. We are looking at the system to push in throughout the morning hours, but it's only going to be as rain initially, transitioning over to some wet, heavy snow as we go into the afternoon. We'll talk more about this and time it all out coming up in a little bit. Roz?
We are looking at average travel times anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes on the interior expressways between the tri-state and downtown. Bishop Ford, we still have that nasty delay. They're recovering from the earlier crash inbound just before 115th. Everything has been cleared, but it's taking a while for this traffic to filter through. And Chopper 7, they are over the Stevenson at the Dan Ryan, which backs up every day at this time. We've got some very heavy traffic on 55 approaching the Dan Ryan interchange. And actually, the Stevenson does have our highest travel time of 46 minutes from the tri-state to DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Val and Terrell.
Thank you, Roz. Now to our top story. There is sadness this morning over the death of a Chicago police officer. Dozens of his fellow officers were there as his body was taken to the medical examiner's office last night.
He's being remembered as an officer with a bright future. This morning we have an update. Jessica D'Onofrio was live from the 8th District Police Station in Chicago. Along with more, Jess.
Val and Terrell, Chicago police tell us this officer had about 5 years on the job. He was based here out of the 8th Police District. His name being kept private for now as the city and the police department mourn.
Every officer in this police department, and for that matter, every officer in this country, is grieving today. Policing is a big family of people who know at some point they may be asked to make the ultimate sacrifice. But you never wish or hope that it actually happens.
The shooting unfolded yesterday afternoon at around 4:45 in the 5200 block of South Spalding. Officers were responding to a call of a person chasing a female down the street with a gun. Police say as officers knocked on doors, another responding officer encountered the armed suspect who began running. Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown says officers began to chase him at close range. Then immediately and without warning, police say the offender shot at the officer. That officer was able to return fire. Brown says the officer who was killed was shot multiple times, and the 18-year-old offender was shot in the head. He's in critical condition. Mayor Lightfoot asking the city to lift the officer's family up in prayer.
I want to remind people that every single day, on every shift, officers run to danger for our safety. If you see an officer tonight, or the next day, or the day after that, thank them for their service.
Meanwhile, a somber procession took place last night with dozens of police cars escorting that officer's body to the medical examiner's office. First responders and citizens lining the streets to salute the ambulance as it went by. There was also a massive police presence at Mount Sinai Hospital, with officers gathering there to show support. Now back here live, police say the officers were wearing body cameras. That footage is being reviewed. Meanwhile, a routine investigation into the shooting is underway. Val and Terrell.
There's Jessica D'Onofrio at the 8th Police District this morning. Jessica, thank you. And mayoral candidate Brandon Johnson released a statement saying, quote, "This is a sad and sorrowful day for our city, and my heart goes out to the family, friends, and colleagues of the Chicago police officer whose life was taken in the line of duty in Gage Park this afternoon. I'm praying for healing for all those close as we await further details on this tragedy." Mayoral candidate Paul Vallis said the courageous men and women of the Chicago Police Department have suffered another tragic loss of one of their own to the ultimate sacrifice of protecting our communities. My heartfelt thoughts are with the officers' loved ones and the entire CPD family who are grieving during this difficult time. This is a tragic reminder of what our police officers do each and every day, laying their lives on the line for us. This violence must come to an end.
The last Chicago police officer who was shot and killed in the line of duty was Officer Ella French. 29-year-old French was killed in 2021 in a shooting in West Englewood. Her police partner, Officer Carlos Yanez Jr., was shot that night and survived. He spent months in rehab.
Hours before we learned that a Chicago police officer had been killed, Superintendent David Brown announced that he would be stepping down.
His time at CPD was less than 3 years. Diane Patthew has the very latest right now. Diane.
On heels of Mayor Lightfoot losing re-election, Police Superintendent David Brown says he's leaving. His last day on the job will be March 16th. Brown says he's taking a job at a personal injury law firm in Texas. Not everyone was satisfied with his work. Mayoral candidates Paul Vallis and Brandon Johnson say they both committed to hiring someone from within the Chicago Police Department to replace him. Alderman Chris Talaferro is the chair of the City Council Public Safety Committee. He spoke about the need to support the next superintendent.
Whomever the next superintendent would be, I would love for our city to get behind him for the betterment of the city, to make sure that we have census violence and crime reduced to a very low level. So I will support whomever that superintendent is, and I hope the city will as well.
In a statement, Brown said, quote, "It has been an honor and a privilege to work alongside the brave men and women of the Chicago Police Department. I will continue to pray that all officers return home to their families safe at the end of their shift." First Deputy Eric Carter will be interim superintendent after Brown leaves until a new mayor is sworn in. Back to you.
Matthew, Diane, thank you. Breaking overnight, Chicago firefighters rushed to a fire at a laundromat on the northwest side. It happened at 5401 West Montrose in Portage Park. The fire is out right now, and we're not hearing about any injuries. 7 past the hour, we're learning more about the man behind an airport security scare in Pennsylvania. He's accused of checking a bag with an explosive device inside it.
He's now in FBI custody. ABC's Morgan Norwood joins us live from the Lehigh Valley International Airport with the latest.
Val Terrell, so many questions this morning. Sources say that device did contain flammable and explosive materials, but they say it wasn't operational and not built to go off in flight. Still very unsettling. This morning, the FBI questioning this passenger who they say tried to smuggle an explosive device onto a plane. Here he is on surveillance, lugging 2 suitcases that authorities say contain dangerous explosive material. According to investigators, 40-year-old Mark Muffley, a Pennsylvania native, was set to take an Allegiant flight from Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley International Airport to Orlando, Florida on Monday. During a security screening, an alarm went off. TSA officers opened the suitcase and found a circular compound approximately 3 inches in diameter, wrapped in a wax-like paper and clear plastic wrap hidden in the lining of the baggage. An X-ray showed the device contained a granular type of powder consistent with a commercial-grade firework. They also say it had multiple fuses attached, one designed to ignite quickly. The suitcase also containing a can of butane, a lighter, a pipe with white powder residue, a wireless drill with cordless batteries, and 2 electrical outlets taped together with black tape. Muffley is charged with possession of an explosive in an airport and possessing or attempting to place an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft. According to a criminal complaint, he was paged over the airport's PA system, and instead of reporting to authorities, security cameras caught him leaving the airport. He was later arrested at his home in Pennsylvania. And that suspect is due in court later today. Authorities, though, trying to determine why he allegedly packed that explosive device in his luggage and again showed up here to the airport. So far, though, no obvious links to terrorism in this case. Guys?
Morgan Norwood, Lehigh Valley International Airport this morning. Morgan, thank you so much. U.S. Attorney John Lausch says he'll leave his job at the Northern District of Illinois next Saturday. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced Lausch's resignation earlier this year. Lausch was sworn in back in 2017. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Morris Pasquale Pasquale will replace Lausch on an interim basis.
Police in suburban Lisle tell the ABC7 I-team they helped the U.S. Secret Service execute a search warrant. Chopper 7 was over the business on Ogden Avenue yesterday. We're told it's the headquarters to S&P Solutions, also known as Bitcoin of America. The COO of that company told the I-team they are collaborating with authorities in Ohio for an ongoing investigation, but the details of the warrant have not been released.
Got an update on a groundbreaking ceremony that was scheduled in Bronzeville today. We just learned it has been canceled and no reason was given. We're talking about an $8 billion project that covers 100 acres. These are artist renderings right here. Phase 1 will include commercial, office, and retail spaces, housing, and a large park. The developers say that this is a large mixed-use project, and it's the largest ever undertaken in Chicago. As soon as we get a new date and information, we'll post that to our website ABC7chicago.com. And, of course, we'll get you an update here, too.
Well, your live and local news is just getting started as we stream out loud this morning. Coming up, expanded federal food benefits has expired. Now the I-team shows us what it means for people around Chicago.
First, though, rain and snow are in the forecast for tomorrow. Haisal Martinez has your AccuWeather forecast coming up next.
Well, good morning. Temperatures this morning starting off into the mid and upper 30s, and that's pretty close to where we stay through the rest of the day, close to 40 degrees. And then we turn our attention to a Friday storm. So tomorrow, expecting to get rain and snow in the area. The track of the low pressure system will really determine how much snow we get. And right now there is still some uncertainty with this, but just know that the Friday morning commute will have some wet weather around, but it is that system barely starting to move in throughout the morning commute. We are expecting some heavy wet snow from this one, so it's not the light fluffy stuff. And the highest impact will be the travel as we head into the afternoon and evening hours on Friday. The reason there is uncertainty with this is because this low pressure system is still near Arizona, and it's expected to get to us by tomorrow. We'll race across Texas as we go through the day today, and then by tonight gets to the Midwest, and then into tomorrow morning will be here next to us and starting to move into our area. So here's a look at the stop of the clock at noon to show you that uncertainty. The model has changed now, and it's showing that it's mainly going to be a rain and snow mix here with very little accumulation if that low pressure system is further south. But if it gets closer to us, then we have that chance to have an area of some wet, heavy snow across our area. 5 p.m. showing you that system slowly starting to move out of here. So here's a look at the difference in models. GFS and Euro showing you that the heaviest band could potentially be just over Chicago or south of that. A look at your 7-day forecast showing you that we do start to clear things up Saturday and Sunday. Roz?
We're looking at 40 to 45-minute travel times. That's going to be the average between the tri-state and downtown. And we've got a couple of crashes out there. This one's inbound on the Dan Ryan just before the Stevenson, partially in the left lane. It is causing a significant backup. You can see it from our White Sox camera. It's pretty slow out there. We're also just hearing about a crash inbound on the Bishop Ford just before the Steel Bridge. That is in the left lane, and that's where we're starting to see a new backup developing. And in Elgin, we've got a crash that's kind of a busy area, US 20 and Shales Parkway. Val and Terrell.
All right. Thank you, Roz. A financial lifeline for families across the Chicago area is now cut short. The federal government is ending emergency SNAP benefits that began at the start of the pandemic. I-Team consumer investigator Samantha Chapman shows us what local organizations are doing to help fill the void.
The average person receiving SNAP benefits will see a reduction of about $95 a month, and large families will see cuts closer to $250 a month. Local food banks have been gearing up for this day as people across our area scramble to put food on the table. Dozens of people wait outside this food pantry in the back of the Yards neighborhood after waking up to a portion of their SNAP benefits slashed.
It made me sick to my stomach.
Pamela Androvic says she's been getting an additional $95 a month in food benefits since the spring of 2020. Now, those extra funds are gone.
It's devastating, and I don't know what I'm going to do. These are people who need SNAP benefits. We're in dire strait. We need help from the government. We don't eat without these SNAP benefits.
She's among millions of people across the country who are now trying to figure out how they can stretch the benefits they do have. But with grocery prices at record highs, many people are panicking.
It will really severely impact many households.
Man Yi Lee with the Greater Chicago Food Depository says the people they serve are extremely concerned.
This is going to increase the rate of food insecurity in the city of Chicago and in Cook County. Currently, 1 in 5 households in the Chicago metro area are facing food insecurity.
Organizations like the Greater Chicago Food Depository say their food bank partners are gearing up for big crowds, making sure they have an abundance of grocery items on their shelves to meet the increased need. It's assistance many of these folks tell me they wish they didn't need, but currently can't live without.
If I could work, I wouldn't even ask the government for a dime, but unfortunately I've been disabled for a while and I depend on this.
It's clear many people in our area need those additional SNAP benefits, especially with grocery prices that are through the roof. Senator Dick Durbin and Congressman Jonathan Jackson are both on agriculture committees. They both tell me that they are committed to working with their colleagues in Congress to ensure families have the resources that they need to put food on the table. Samantha Chapman, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
It is just so hard out there for so many folks. I mean, we know it. We go to the grocery store and look at the prices. It's out of control.
It is, and it doesn't look like there's any relief in sight. You know, we were talking when we first kind of got into the pandemic and we're starting to see prices go up. Oh, it's a temporary thing, or we're going to see those prices drop. Here we are 2 years later, still talking about the same things.
I don't know what the solution is either.
Yep. All right, when we come back, still to stream, a rocket roared into the sky overnight. More on the 4-man crew that's headed to the International Space Station coming up next.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
One, engines full power, and lift off of Crew 6. Go Dragon, go Falcon.
4 astronauts took off early this morning from Cape Canaveral, Florida, bound for the International Space Station on a SpaceX rocket. The crew includes an American astronaut, 2 Russians. The 4th crew member is from the United Arab Emirates and is only the 2nd person from that country to travel into space. They will replace another crew that has been in space since October.
Some of the 1,300 workers laid off Tuesday from the Stellantis plant in Belvedere had a meeting yesterday to talk about their futures with UAW Local 1268. The assembly plant has been idled indefinitely. It's not closed officially. Some employees are being offered jobs at other facilities.
I came from Indianapolis Foundry 18 years ago, so I've already done this once. I'm not really wanting to do it again, but if I have to, I will.
I don't want to go through all the unemployment stuff and everything, so I'm just going to probably go and just retire and be, cleared up, be done with it.
It's not a comfortable position to be in when you're waiting, and there isn't a whole lot more you can do.
Yeah, this is tough. The Belvedere assembly plant made Jeep Cherokees. Production is reportedly being moved to Mexico.
Today, a committee in Evanston will consider the next step toward a rebuilt Ryan Field at Northwestern. The Northwestern University City Committee has its first meeting of the year and will consider the university's proposed demolition of current buildings and construction plans for a new Ryan Field. Northwestern says a new field, seen in these renderings right here from the school, will create a world-class home for the university athletics and a year-round asset for the community. A number of neighbors have displayed signs against the project. Some people have signed a petition opposing it. The university needs approval from Evanston City Council before construction can begin. Well, right now we're going to join our Good Morning America viewers. Tanya Babich will have a news update on TV in just a bit. You'll see it here too.
And when we come back this morning, many banks charge bank fees, but can you avoid them? Consumer investigator Jason Knowles is finding out how you can save when it comes to banking right after this.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:23. I'm Tanya Babich. Updating breaking news. Chicago police are mourning one of their own killed in the line of duty. Last night, first responders and citizens lined city streets for blocks to pay their respects as dozens of police cars escorted the body of the fallen officer from Mount Sinai Hospital to the medical examiner's office. The officer's name has not yet been released. He was shot yesterday in Gage Park on the southwest side in an exchange of gunfire with a man accused of chasing a woman down the street with a gun. The suspect was also shot and is hospitalized in critical condition. Let's get a check of the ABC7 AccuWeather forecast. Here's meteorologist Jaisol Martinez.
Good morning. We have a system headed our way that will bring rain and snow into our area as we go into tomorrow. So that system right now moving into New Mexico will cross Texas and then head towards the Midwest and get to us by tomorrow. So that's why there is some uncertainty with this track. But the National Weather Service has put a lot of us under a winter storm watch. We will have that in effect tomorrow morning all the way through tomorrow night. So here's a timing of that showing it as it gets closer to us. Some light rain is going to move in for the morning commute tomorrow, and then by the afternoon we do have that chance to have some wet snow.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge and put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Good morning, everybody. We're looking at about 45 to 50-minute travel times. That's the average. Inbound between the Tri-State and downtown, we still have this crash inbound on the Ford before the Steel Bridge, causing some delays. Left lane is blocked. We're seeing residual delays northbound on 55 at Lamont Road, where we had an earlier crash. It's still very slow there. We have a new crash in Winfield at the intersection of Mack and Winfield Roads. And take a look at our tollway camera. This is the northbound Tri-State. That's the tail lights is the northbound side. It's pretty heavy from 83rd down to the mile-long construction area.
Something the kids looking.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Just catching up during the break.
Yeah. Talking about them children.
Churn.
Those children of mine.
Yeah, man. Always something to talk about. And we'll talk about the weather too. Some 37 degrees out there and a lot of drama coming tomorrow. Highsall's watching that this morning.
And right for like evening plans too.
I know, on a Friday.
All right. Well, this morning, here's a question for you. Are you wasting money on checking account fees?
Yeah. Well, one financial group says that there are ways that you can avoid paying. So please, consumer investigator Jason Knowles, let us know what we can do to save some money when it comes to banking.
According to a new study from Bankrate.com, more than 1 in 4 checking account holders pay monthly service fees to their banks. On average, it could cost those consumers $24 a month, which is $288 a year. Here's a quick tip on how to avoid checking account fees. Do your homework before you open up an account. Only about half of non-interest checking accounts are free, but the vast majority become free when certain requirements are met, such as maintaining a minimum balance or setting up direct deposit. Ask what works for you. If you withdraw a lot of cash, find a bank that reimburses you for out-of-network ATM fees. If you rarely visit a bank, make an account with an online bank. Online banks may have lower account fees. Regularly check your account balance or set up low balance alerts. Two of the most common charges are overdraft fees and non-sufficient funds. Jason Knowles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Been there on the insufficient funds thing.
Yeah, I remember the days from college. Yes, very well. I just don't like the fees that you get when you go to another ATM.
ATM, right? And what are you supposed to do? Especially when you're in the middle of nowhere, like if it's a place that doesn't have a chase or something.
Exactly.
They get you. Coming up this morning, going to check in with Highsall and Roz for another update on weather and getting around this morning, how long it's going to take and the travel times.
Yeah, plus TikTok time limit, the new feature aimed at younger users. That's ahead.
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Bottom of the hour now at 7:30, taking a look at the morning's top stories. And a Chicago police officer has been killed in the line of duty. The city is now in mourning. Last night, first responders and citizens lined the streets to pay their respects. The officer's name has not yet been released. He was shot yesterday in Gage Park on the southwest side in an exchange of gunfire with a man accused of chasing a woman down the street with a gun. The suspect was also shot and is in critical condition.
Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown is resigning after nearly 3 years on the job. Yesterday, he announced he accepted a job as COO of a personal injury law firm in Texas. He leaves his post on March 16th. Mayor Lightfoot says First Deputy Eric Carter will become interim superintendent until our new mayor names a new superintendent.
And the CPS Citywide Spelling Bee Championship will happen today. 48 students from grades 5 through 8, 5th grade to 8th grade will face off, with one of them becoming the city's new top speller. This is video from previous competitions. Today's championship starts at 2 o'clock at Lynn Bloom Math and Science Academy. The winner today will advance to the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington, D.C. in May.
Nice.
Good luck to them.
Oh, I love spelling bees.
I know. I'm so glad we have spell check today. I was a terrible
were
speller
you
back in the day.
in spelling bees?
I did do spell. Did you? I did.
No, my kids though. Both of them.
Gotcha.
So I have spellers in my home, but yeah, that wasn't my jam.
Tough stuff.
Yeah.
Good luck to them. Good morning, everybody.
Intense competition.
It really is, and those kids are really good. Hey, everybody. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. Looks good out there right now. Heisel Martinez is in today for Tracy with today's forecast and a look ahead on what we should be planning for tomorrow, right, Heisel?
Yes, good morning. A Friday, and it's going to be a messy commute here, especially throughout the afternoon and evening with some wet weather headed our way. Rain transitioning over to some snow in some spots. So tonight we will start to see some clouds move in, but the rain doesn't really get to us until the morning commute tomorrow. So it's pushing in throughout the morning commute. Notice around 7 a.m. it's possible that areas near Chicago and then for our northern suburbs are barely starting to see the rain move in around 7 in the morning, and then we're talking that transition over to snow. We'll talk more about the system and how much we're expecting coming up in just a little bit. Roz?
Well, those travel times are inching their way up. Now we're looking at about 45 to 55 minutes, the average travel time between the tri-state and downtown Kennedy, though. That's clocking in at a solid hour. That's become the pattern for the JFK. We also have a stall. We've had a lot of stalls up in Lake County, but they are causing delays. This one's in the Waukegan area, westbound 132, just before Route 131. And we can take a look at our tollway camera. This is the tri-state, the tail lights northbound, right around the 290 I-88. It is backing up on I-88, trying to get to that ramp going to the northbound tri-state. Val and Terrell.
All right, want to get to today's talkers. Roz, come on over here. And we start with Prince Harry and Meghan losing their official royal residence in the UK.
This is so crazy to me because I'm like, they quit them.
Right, that's true.
It's all good.
Yeah.
A spokesperson says the couple have been asked to leave Frogmore Cottage. They already left.
They're gone.
It's been fewer than 6 months since the death of Queen Elizabeth. She allowed Harry and Meghan to move there in 2019. King Charles reportedly asked Harry and Meghan to move out shortly after Harry's memoir came out. The couple lives in California. They had kept Frogmore Cottage as their official UK residence. This is a picture of the building. And I heard you say that it was far from a cottage.
I'm thinking, oh, it's just a cute little quaint cottage in the middle of the woods.
Like,
You know, small place, very quaint, that they're going to pack up a few things and fly across the... That's a mansion.
Yeah.
It had 25 rooms, has gardens all around it. Yes, ponds, lakes, walking trails. That's a house.
That's not what we call a cottage.
No.
I want a 25-room anything.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So they're being kicked out, they're being evicted, but they're still living plenty well. And they've got their main residence out in Montecito that they still have.
Yes.
I didn't even realize they still had a house out in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay.
They're fine.
Yeah. But it's like, why do all of this now? Well, we know because the memoir came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you read that?
King Charles.
I have not.
Spare? I haven't read it yet. It's on my list, but I did finally finish.
Oh, the documentary.
Yes, I did.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
And that was based on the book, right?
Well, the book tells a little bit more supposedly, I guess, than the documentary. But it's their view of what happened, Harry and Meghan, from their love story when they first met, in their words, in their videos, from their perspective. And it was quite good. But you know, Daddy is just like mad. And oh, y'all want to do this? You want to put out all our family business? I'm going to take this house from you.
Right. Give it to my brother. Right. Give it to Andrew.
On your own.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, let's move on from them. Next, if you have been dying to score the perfect apartment for a house party, we might have the crib for you.
Yeah, this apartment is in New York City, and as Will Gans reports, there is one drawback.
New York City's hottest real estate listing is 225 Central Park West, a 500-square-foot pied-à-terre in a doorman building with central air. And if you need some fresh air of your own,
you've got the park right in front of you, and upstairs, a beautiful roof deck.
But if you're looking to buy it, your window is closing fast. Actually, there's no window at all. Not one window in the one-bedroom apartment listed for $599,000. Unit 107 is on the ground floor of the building known as the Alden.
And it used to be one of those grand hotels. So it has lots of elevators, a great staff, beautiful architecture from the 1920s.
The listing going viral, trending in the ridiculous real estate subreddit. One Redditor joking, it's a fancy dungeon, but it's also on Central Park West. Also popular on that subreddit, this home in Wisconsin, featuring this barn/garage/treehouse. And who could forget what just might be New York's tiniest apartment that we told you about last year?
Right next to the sink is conveniently located the kitchen.
Our friend Axel Weber paying $1,200 a month for less than 100 square feet and a shared bathroom down the hall.
I'm happy because where I was before this was in a car, just living out of a 2000 Volvo.
Do you dream of something nicer one day?
I dream of a stove. Will, that's what I dream of. A nice 4-burner, a gas range.
No stove for Axel, but a gorgeous kitchen for whoever moves into 225 Central Park West. Again, no windows, but there are skylights in the bedroom and
very quiet.
Matter to them.
No?
I have friends who just
they don't care.
They'd be like, I'll take that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Right.
Especially like Central Park. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess maybe if you went outside and spent a lot of time outside, but yeah, I think I prefer some sunlight too.
Some sun and some windows.
All right, well, let's find out what you think about this. How about this? You can't lose your cell phone if it's under your skin. It's been 50 years since American engineer Martin Cooper made the very first cell phone call on a Motorola.
Yeah, now the father of the cell phone is predicting what's next. And at a technology event, he told CNBC the next generation will embed phones under the skin of your ears.
What?
Yeah. So do you remember when cell phones looked like this, by the way?
I do.
And Cooper says no need for chargers. Our body's own energy will charge those phones.
Wait, what?
Yeah, sounds like sci-fi, but it may not be far-fetched. New technology is experimenting with the connection between your brain and a computer.
Well, just think about everything we're doing right now that we thought was far-fetched 20, 30 years ago.
Dick Tracy talking and answering the phone on my watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that would ever happen.
Exactly. So we are seeing that now, but our kids and grandkids will be like.
My mom is still shocked by FaceTime every time.
Like,
how are we doing this?
How are we doing? I love it.
Yeah. I don't know about. I'm trying to separate me and my phone. There are times where I'm like, I need to just get away from it. Now it's going to be in my body. I don't know.
Can you imagine the little email noise going off
in your head when you get a new note or a text message?
Your ear?
Right.
Or maybe you text message. Somebody's calling me.
Turn off
tell
all
your brain exactly.
Yeah.
To turn it off.
So you'd be talking to yourself while turn off notifications, answer the phone. Hello?
And that would be different than how for me.
That's what I was about to say, true.
People do that now.
That's true. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
It's just weird.
We are weird. We're getting weird.
Yeah.
Goodness.
It's different when it's like you have to implant technology. It's different than having physical things.
And what does that do to your body?
Right? We're going to be chipped, y'all. I'm telling you.
Well, they put the chips in the dogs, right?
That's right. We're going to be just like them. We get lost. Somebody's going to be able to scan something and find us. Eyewitness. They know. Eyewitness News streaming out loud this morning. We'll take a quick break. We're back in 90 seconds.
All right, y'all rolling or no?
Hey everybody, welcome back. It is almost time for the famous cherry blossoms to bloom in Washington, D.C. The new update from the National Park Service is that they're expected to reach peak bloom between March 22nd and 25th. It's been so mild in D.C. this winter that the trees never reached their winter dormancy. D.C. hit 81 degrees late last month. And I know you know that, right?
Facts.
Yeah,
on the FaceTime with Zoe, and like she had on summer clothes. She was like, "Ma, it's 80 degrees out here."
My mama in Richmond, Virginia, a little south of that, same thing, like tank tops and shorts. Like, what's happening? I'm not complaining.
Not at all.
But Lord, in February, man, even the trees don't know what the heck to do right now.
Let's just keep the trend going. We know we have a little hiccup in the forecast tomorrow. But after that, I think we even have a beautiful weekend, Heisel.
Yeah, we start to clear things up pretty fast once that system moves out. But yes, a tricky afternoon commute here into tomorrow. Today, just a lot of clouds out there. Temperatures will stay pretty close to 40 degrees. So where we are right now is close to where we're going to be through the rest of today. Then our attention turns to this Friday storm. So in the morning, we'll have some rain transitioning over to rain and snow into the afternoon. This will be heavy wet snow. So not the light fluffy stuff. It's the heavy wet snow that we're expecting with this one. Several inches across our area, but still some uncertainty because of the track of this low pressure system. So right now it is moving into New Mexico, will cross into Texas, and then eventually get to us by tomorrow morning. So it has a long ways to go, and the location of that low pressure system is really going to determine how much snow we get from this. So notice here 7 a.m. we have some light rain starting to move into our area throughout the morning commute tomorrow, and then continuing the clock here to show you around lunchtime, this is when we're expecting that transition over to snow in some areas. But notice the cutoff. It is possible that our southern suburbs are looking at some heavy rainfall, and then just to the north of that, we're seeing heavy snowfall. So it is a tough setup here, a tough forecast with this one. Notice here by 5 p.m. a lot of us seeing that snow out there. Here's a look at the two different models, GFS and Euro, showing you that the GFS is having the heavier snow band just to the south of Chicago and more so into northwest Indiana, but the European has it right over Chicago. So yes, a tough forecast with this one, basically because this low pressure system is still out in the southwest. So we do have that AccuWeather alert for tomorrow. But then yes, as Val said, we are looking to really warm things up and clear things up Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the 40s. Roz?
We're looking at pretty average delays for this time in the morning, about 55 minutes, except for the Kennedy. That's almost an hour 10 from O'Hare to downtown. A little hazy, but you can see the traffic there around the North Avenue curve, barely moving. We also are seeing significant delays now with this crash in Elgin on US 20 at Shales Parkway, especially for the eastbound traffic on 20, which is the direction of the rush hour. Everybody going on the eastbound side. But our tollways, they're in pretty good shape. Now here's I-90, our Rosemont camera right around the Divine Cash Box. We've got more volume, but at least it's moving. Most of the tollways are. More news, weather, and traffic right around the corner.
I mean, we've all heard of a rain delay at sports events, but what about a parrot delay?
I haven't quite heard of that. That's what happened when a pair of parrots invaded a college women's softball game in Central Florida, and one of them landed on the home base umpire. Jeannie Moos has the story.
They took the field, causing a flap.
There are multiple parrots on the field.
2 to be exact, delighting.
Just gorgeous birds.
And freaking out the women's softball players at the University of Central Florida's field, causing an umpire to duck.
Rain delay, yes, but parrot delay?
That's absolutely a first.
Chad Steers was the home plate umpire.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh!
When one of the parrots made a home on his shoulder.
I felt the wind from the wings and a gasp from the crowd.
Let's go to the replay.
Oh!
One just landed on the umpires.
Chad was so unfazed, he pretended to put on his mask as if to resume the game with a parrot on him. When he tried to touch the bird, the parrot retreated to the other shoulder. Who are these mystery birds?
Tiki's the one who eventually got tired and decided to land on the umpire.
Megan Brown owns Tiki and Lilu. She was letting them fly free behind the stadium. They always come back.
Hi, baby.
During our interview, the parrots dislodged her glasses, attacked the lens and pecked it.
Hi, Lilu.
And perched on Megan's head. She says she's a little surprised Tiki didn't nip the umpire when he touched him at the feisty age of 8 months.
He's normally kind of a
But Chad loved Tiki.
It was just a great moment.
After about half a minute, one of the grounds crew lured the bird to him and escorted Tiki out. The umpire's co-workers teased him.
And this is sitting on my desk, you know.
Who cares about calling balls and strikes when you're the target of a bird strike? Jeannie Moos, New York.
That's ridiculous.
I need to pick my mouth up off the ground.
Well, I know.
I cannot believe that. And the level of calmness that umpire had, I would be freaking out.
Butt naked on that field trying to figure out what that was that just landed on me.
The parent looked at the color of his shirt
Probably and thought,
no,
I think I'm going to land here.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I would have freaked out.
What a
yeah, that's
great
cool
story.
moment. Yep. We'll be right back.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
Well, Jay Leno is revealing his new face 3.5 months after suffering serious burns while working on one of his vintage cars.
Yeah, in an appearance on the Kelly Clarkson Show, the comedian joked about the gasoline fire and his constructive surgery.
It was interesting. It was all third-degree burns. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
You can't tell at all.
No, you think there'd be a zipper here or something, but no.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no,
it's
this is like
crazy.
a brand new, but only for the second time in my career am I the new face of comedy. You know, I got it once in the 80s, and now I get it again. That's a brand new ear.
Wow. I want whoever did his work, man. I mean, you can't tell anything happened.
Nothing.
Leno also suffered burns on his hand and across his chest. He looks phenomenal.
Yeah, he does.
He does. And you know what? He doesn't look like, when they gave him the new face, it's not like he looks all young and tight. He looks like how he looked before
right?
He got the burns.
That. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
That is great, right? When I need a nip and a tuck, I'm going to Jay Leno's guy.
You better have that Jay Leno money.
That's true. The rock group Kiss announced the final shows of their last tour. The band plans to wrap things up after 2 back-to-back shows at Madison Square Garden at the end of the year. Band says that they were born in New York City and want to end at 10 blocks and 50 years from where they first started. And before that, they got a concert scheduled at Allstate Arena in Rosemont, November 27th. Tickets go on sale next week.
You know, I looked that up. The 27th is a Monday.
It is?
A Monday night?
Yeah, it's a Monday after Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah, oh man.
Oh, maybe do you think they're thinking people will take a 5-day weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
and just have
for
Monday.
them.
But still, you still have to go to work Tuesday.
Yeah,
So,
right,
you know what?
exactly.
We gotta come up with a name for that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, now to Kentucky Fried Chicken. The company is bringing back the KFC Double Down after a nearly 10-year hiatus. The sandwich has 2 fried chicken fillets as the bun. It will be available for a limited time starting March 6th. KFC said fans have been clamoring for its return, so the chain is answering the call by bringing it back again.
So usually I give side eye to these, but
You
that
don't now?
actually looked pretty good.
That look good too.
Those 2.
I just don't want to. Oh Lord, I'm gonna say
fried
something.
chicken.
I would
say big. You know what? I don't want
Well,
those
yeah.
big chickens. I don't want to bite into
I look at
those.
this and going, that looks really good. It's like,
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I don't want that.
Right. Nobody said look at the scale after you eat it. Just eat it and enjoy it. For High Sol and Roz, I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. Thanks for watching Eyewitness News at 7 a.m. here. Tanya Babbage will have news updates, and there will be weather and traffic updates too. We're going to hear from everybody in just a moment. But for everyone here at ABC7, have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Same place, same time.
This has been Eyewitness News, streaming at 7.